Don't forget to subscribe for daily drama that hits harder than a breakup text at midnight, because the internet is exploding after NFL superstar Stefon Diggs allegedly humiliated Cardi B with one savage comment that nobody saw coming. He reportedly said her BBL looked good but smelled bad, and that alone has lit up the timeline like Coachella fireworks, sparking memes, dragging wars, and a wave of backlash so strong even Cardi's most loyal fans are side-eyeing this situation. And it all started with whispers that turned into screams as social media ran wild with speculation, asking if Stefon really left her over her body, or if something even deeper and uglier was going on behind the scenes, because the timing was brutal. Right after Cardi B's big Coachella performance where she hit the stage dripping in glitter and glamour. But the internet wasn't focused on the music. They were hyper-analyzing every curve, every camera angle, zooming in on her body with brutal commentary suggesting something had gone horribly wrong with her surgery, calling it botched, distorted, or even worse. And that's when things really exploded, because as the memes rolled in, Cardi B was watching it all unfold in real time, and instead of ignoring it or letting her PR team handle it, she jumped into the fire herself, unleashing a series of unfiltered emotional clapbacks on Twitter, IG Live, Threads, anywhere she could speak directly to the fans and the haters, swinging back with raw energy and painful honesty, cussing, crying, even daring people to say it to her face, saying that she's always kept it real about her surgeries, never lied, never faked it. And yet she was being torn apart not just by trolls, but by people she thought were her supporters. And while she didn't name Stefon directly, the shade was undeniable, the tension too thick to ignore, especially after she posted a cryptic message saying she regrets ignoring red flags, and then wiped a bunch of photos off her page, signaling that something was breaking down behind the scenes. And that's when fans went digging deeper, pulling receipts from months ago when Cardi and Stefon were first rumored to be dating, noting that while things looked steamy at first, Valentine's Day dates, flirty DMs, courtside PDA, something shifted right after the Met Gala. And now, with this alleged comment going viral, fans are putting the pieces together and wondering if Stefon had been checked out for a while but just didn't have the guts to walk away until he had a petty excuse. And while Stefon hasn't addressed the drama directly, his silence has only fueled the fire, especially since he's been posting cryptic messages about loyalty and smelling the truth that fans think are thinly veiled digs at Cardi. And let's not forget, this is a man who's been known for his shady online behavior before. Remember when he was linked to multiple women during the same off-season and liked tweets that subtly bashed his exes? So now people are saying he's pulling the same move again, but this time it's messier because Cardi's not just another influencer. She's a Grammy-winning superstar, with a fan base that will literally ride at dawn. And yet even some of those fans are now backing away, saying they're tired of defending her when she seems to be spiraling every time a man embarrasses her publicly. And that's the tragic twist. Cardi B has always been praised for her transparency, her unfiltered voice, her openness about plastic surgery, motherhood, marriage struggles. But in this moment, that same honesty is being weaponized against her. People are saying maybe she should have kept some things private. Maybe she's doing too much. Maybe the vulnerability isn't empowering anymore. Maybe it's just sad. And the narrative is shifting fast, with influencers and YouTubers posting reaction videos dissecting her body, her relationships, her emotional responses, turning her real pain into content. And that's where this becomes more than a celebrity breakup. It becomes a disturbing mirror of our culture, where a woman's body is picked apart like a red carpet. Outfit and her heartbreak is entertainment. And Cardi, who once dominated the charts and the headlines on her own terms, is now being reduced to a punchline. A trending topic, a cautionary tale for young girls watching from the sidelines wondering what it costs to chase perfection, and if that perfection will ever be enough. And maybe the saddest part is that the question people are obsessing over: did Stefon Diggs really dump Cardi B over her BBL? Is just the surface of a deeper, uglier truth, that women in the spotlight are never allowed to win. They're either too fake or too real, too curvy or too botched, too confident or too emotional, and no matter what they do, it's never enough, and Cardi knows that. She's always known that, which is why she fought back so hard online, not just for herself, but for every woman who's been dragged for how they look. For every girl who's been laughed at after being dumped for something she can't change. And whether you love her or hate her, there's no denying that Cardi B's pain in this moment is real, raw, and unfiltered, and it's forcing everyone to take a hard look at what we reward, what we mock, and what we normalize. Because if someone like Cardi, rich, famous, loved, bold, can still be reduced to a punchline over a cosmetic surgery and a man's stray comment, then what chance does anyone else have? And maybe that's the most viral part of all. The realization that even queens get clowned when the spotlight fades and the memes hit harder than the music. But the story didn't stop there, because after the internet exploded, Cardi's team reportedly tried to do some damage control by reaching out to bloggers and trying to soften the narrative, offering behind-the-scenes insights and trying to shift attention back to her music. But the internet wasn't buying it, especially when Stefon was spotted out partying with other women just days after the scandal broke, fueling rumors that he had already emotionally moved on before the Coachella fallout even happened. And when a blurry photo surfaced of him getting cozy with a model who fans claim looks eerily like Cardi B before her surgeries, that just poured gasoline on the fire, because now people were accusing him of fetishizing the old version of Cardi while tearing down the one she became. And that got the internet diving into a whole new rabbit hole about how men love to date women who look like Instagram models, but then humiliate them for maintaining that aesthetic. And it wasn't long before think pieces started popping up, questioning whether this whole drama was part of a bigger pattern, where male celebrities publicly shame women once they've gotten what they wanted from them, only to toss them aside and claim moral superiority. And suddenly Cardi's breakup wasn't just a personal tragedy. It was a case study in how misogyny disguises itself as preference, how bullying hides behind jokes, and how the public loves watching women build themselves up only to cheer louder when they're torn down. And as if all that weren't enough, Cardi's mental health started becoming the next target, with haters speculating that she was on something because of how unfiltered and emotional her live streams had become, even though she made it clear she was just hurt, betrayed, and exhausted. And while some fans rallied behind her and begged her to take a break and protect her peace, others mocked her pain and created compilations of her breakdowns set to music, turning her trauma into meme bait and viral content all over again, and the cycle just wouldn't stop. For every tear she shed, there were 10 reaction clips. For every clapback she delivered, there were 20 think pieces analyzing it. And no matter how loud she screamed her truth, the noise of the internet just kept drowning it out. And meanwhile, Stefon Diggs continued posting gym pics, football content, and vague captions like, "Boys switch up when it gets real," positioning himself as the calm one, the composed one, the unbothered king who had walked away from the chaos. But behind the scenes, insiders say he was well aware of the drama and even encouraged it privately, allegedly texting friends about how she's doing the most and this will blow over soon, which only made fans angrier. Because if true, it shows that he not only triggered the chaos, but sat back and enjoyed it while Cardi unraveled under public scrutiny. And that brings us to the final twist, when Cardi quietly unfollowed several celebrity friends who had remained silent during her breakdown, hinting at betrayals behind the scenes, and then posted a now-deleted story about knowing who's real when things fall apart. And fans started speculating that even people in her own circle had turned their backs on her, possibly siding with Stefon or choosing to protect their own image instead of standing by her, which deepened the feeling of isolation and betrayal that Cardi had been battling since the BBL comment went viral. And now she's in a position where she's not just defending her body or her choices. She's fighting to protect her legacy, her mental stability, and her right to be human in an industry that chews up vulnerability and spits it back out as content. And while we don't know what comes next, whether she'll retreat, rebrand, or release